Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are officially transforming into exam detectives. We've got a pretty crucial mission today, mastering Cambridge Checkpoint Stage 6 English, and specifically, we're zeroing in on skill 29. Now, that's all about explaining text structure and subheadings. If you are a visual learner, you are absolutely in the right place because we're going to look exactly at how to map out the clues hidden right there on the page. But first, we really need to address a mystery here. Why do we lose marks on those seemingly easy questions? You totally know the feeling. You read a question, you feel incredibly confident, you write down an answer that seems, well, perfectly fine, and then 0 marks. It is deeply frustrating. But here's the real secret. You aren't losing marks because you don't understand the text. No, you're losing marks because you just aren't giving the examiners the exact, specific evidence they're looking for. So, we need to find those missing clues. Here is exactly how we'll crack the case today. First, the subheading secret. Then, spotting exam clues, step-by-step practice, common mistakes, and we'll wrap up with a Smart Path challenge. Notice how this numbered list actually acts as a text structure itself, letting you know exactly what comes next. All right, let's move right into section 1, the subheading secret. It is time to uncover the Cambridge logic behind how texts are actually put together. So listen, a subheading isn't just a bold piece of text slapped on a page to make it look pretty. The student-friendly definition is that it's a small title for a section that helps readers find specific information quickly. Seriously, I want you to mentally highlight those 3 words right now, specific information quickly. That phrase, that is your golden exam keyword. When Cambridge asks you about the purpose of a subheading, they almost always want to see that exact phrase. And that brings us to text structure overall. Text structure is simply how information is organized, putting details into a clear, logical order. Think of it kind of like building a house. You don't just throw a bunch of bricks into a pile in the yard. You organize them into walls, rooms, and a roof. Authors use sections and subheadings to build their text so the reader can easily walk through the information. Moving on to section 2, spotting the exam clues. Now that we know what these terms mean, we need to learn how to read a text like an investigator looking for hard evidence. Here is the absolute exact path to getting full marks. When you face a text structure question, you need to build these 3 habits. Step 1. Don't just gloss over the paragraphs. Deliberately look at the headings, the subheadings, and how the paragraphs begin. Step 2. Pause. Ask yourself, what is this section mainly about? And step 3, when writing your answer for why a heading is actually there, always use that magic phrase to find specific information. Okay, section 3, step-by-step practice. This is our we do portion of the explainer. We're going to tackle some actual past paper style examples together. Let's get those detective hats on. Look at this excerpt, text A. Imagine you're reading a text about bees that is divided by these 3 subheadings: where bees live, how bees communicate, and why bees are important. As a reader, think about what these subheadings are really doing for you. They are essentially acting as signposts. Now, here are 2 classic exam prompts based on that exact text. Question 1, what is the purpose of the subheadings? Question 2, which subheading would help you find information about dances? Let's tap into the internal monologue of a top-tier student for a second. For question 1, I know Cambridge doesn't just want me to say something simple like to organize things. I need my golden phrase. And for question 2, well, if bees are dancing, what are they doing? They're talking to each other, right? So, here is exactly how we lock in the points. For the first answer, we write, they organize the text and help readers find specific information quickly. Boom, full marks secured. For the second answer, the exact subheading is how bees communicate. You match the clue, which was dancing, to the correct section. Simple as that. Let's see how this builds with another example. And this time we're taking inspiration directly from the April 2016 Paper 1. It's all about the dawn chorus. The text talks about birds singing to mark territories and how the density of the early morning air makes their sounds carry really clearly. Now, the mark scheme for this paper reveals something absolutely crucial. Look at this comparison. If you write the vague answer, just to organize the text, the examiner gives you 0 marks. 0. Cambridge completely rejects answers without that extra purpose. You must provide the exact answer to organize the text so readers find specific information quickly. Or, you can say, so readers know what comes next. The point is, you have to give the why. Let's try just one more practice run. Text C is a report about a famous fort. Look closely at how the sections are organized. It starts with the location, then it moves to history, then to design, and finally it lands on visitors today. Notice that flow? It's moving exactly like a timeline, isn't it? Okay, time to crack these two questions. Question 1, why is this order useful? Question 2, which section should contain dates and rulers? Use your detective skills here. For question 1, really think about the journey the author is taking us on. And for question 2, match the clues, dates, and rulers to the most logical subheading on our list. And here is your answer path. Answer 1, the order is useful because it moves from general information to past details to the physical structure and ends with present use. Answer 2 is simply history. Tracking that timeline gave us the absolute perfect logical answer. You see? You aren't guessing anymore. You are finding the evidence. All right, section 4, avoiding common mistakes. It is time to look at those super frustrating teacher feedback codes that literally cost students marks every single year. Think of these teacher codes as a kind of cheat sheet for the examiner's brain. If your teacher writes EX on your paper, it means your answer was way too general. You fell into the trap of not giving exact details, like, forgetting our golden phrase. EV means your evidence is just missing, or it doesn't match up. OW means you copied a bit too much and you really need to use your own words. And IR means you added irrelevant details. Stick to the point, be specific, and you will easily dodge all these traps. Well, we have reached section 5, the Smart Path Challenge. This is the you-do phase. It is time to test your newly minted exam smart habits all on your own. Here is your final piece of evidence to examine. Text B is an article about mangrove trees. Paragraph 1 explains where mangroves grow. Paragraph 2 describes how their roots protect coasts. Paragraph 3 explains why fish use them as shelter. So your challenge is this. Write a suitable subheading for paragraph 2. And remember, don't just guess. Look at the exact clue provided for paragraph 2 and turn that main idea into a short, punchy title that would help our reader find specific information. Did you get it? The clue was that the paragraph is about how roots protect coasts. So your model answer is taking that main idea directly to form a perfect subheading. You could absolutely write how roots protect the coast or simply protective roots. It's concise, it is highly targeted, and best of all, it earns you the mark. Let's lock in the learning with a really quick recap. To completely master text structure on the Cambridge checkpoint, you need these habits. Hunt for those headings and subheadings first. Always ask yourself what a section is mainly about. Always use the golden phrase to find specific information quickly when asked about purpose. And finally, dodge those EX and EV traps by being exact and providing matching evidence. So, I leave you with this final, very important thought. Are you ready to hunt down the specific information in your next past paper with SmartPath Academy? The clues are quite literally always right there on the page waiting for you. Now you know exactly what they look like and exactly what the examiners want to hear. Get out there and practice your new detective skills.